everybody, I'm Julian, and welcome back to another episode of All In, where we take deep dives into your favorite video games. This one's going to be a little different for me, though, because usually I talk about games in purely their digital forms. Today, though, I'm venturing out into meat space because I want to talk about where some of the most iconic characters in gaming history meet the real world, the nexus of the virtual realm and our own domain. I'm talking about collectibles, but specifically the kind that come with a little something extra to bring them to life. And to specify even more specifically, I'm talking about AMIIBO.
AMIIBO!
What is it that sets them apart? Why do we like them so much? And why can I not seem to stop collecting them? First of all, just to clear up any confusion, the official plural word for Nintendo's figurines with NFC chips in their bases that give them in-game functionality is AMIIBO. It doesn't matter if you have 1 or 1,000, the word is just AMIIBO. Kind of like how Legos is technically incorrect. There's a fun fact for you. And here's another one. Nobody likes it when you correct them on their misuse of Lego or AMIIBO. You know how I know? Because I just did it and nobody in here likes me. Look at that guy. Can't stand me. Anyway, now that that's cleared up, I have to admit that there's something that fascinates me about AMIIBO, and really the greater Toys to Life concept as a whole. Maybe it was the first Toy Story movie that did this to me, but I've always suspected that my playthings have lives of their own that carry on after I set them down. And maybe they'll finally let me into their world if I could just catch them in the act. No, anyway. So far, my efforts have been fruitless, but the Toys to Life genre at least builds the illusion that these little guys are more than just inanimate statues. So long as I have a figurine with a near-field communication chip in the base, a system that can read it, and a game that makes use of that data, I can bring these toys to life. AMIIBO weren't the first on the scene. That distinction belongs to an obscure toy line from 2007 called UB Funkies. The figures were made by Mattel and worked with a giant funky figure plugged into a PC. Now, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and in this beholder's eyes, these little toys were, well, they're hideous. They were all the same shape, just with different skins or palette swaps, and the game also seemed like more of an afterthought, with much of it locked away unless the player, guess what, collected more UB Funkies. Wait a second, is that Sam Fisher? Sam, why are you showing up in every game but your own? Anyway, apparently being PC only caused technical issues, and UB Funkies were UB done after 3 years. Swooping in to pick up the torch was a little purple dragon with an attitude. In 2011, Activision took a chance on a Toys to Life concept pitched by developer Toys for Bob. Put a recognizable fire-breathing menace front and center, and Skylanders Spyro's Adventure was born. With a special NFC reader similar to UB Funkies but hooked up to a console instead of a PC, and a cast of characters with unique and detailed figurines, the Toys to Life concept finally took off. Skylanders inspired imitators from major competitors, including Disney and Lego. Disney Infinity featured, among others, characters from Toy Story, thus bringing everything full circle. And I actually worked for LEGO Dimensions at E3 as a promotional model. Obviously. I still have a ton of Legos from the game. What did I say about correcting people on Legos? That was a test. With the success of Skylanders, Nintendo decided to try its hand at the genre too. And it's a bit ironic, considering long before the first Skylanders launched, Activision actually came to Nintendo first as a potential partner on the project. At the time, Nintendo's Wii console had shown that the company was willing to try unusual things, and was also making them Bowser boatloads of gold coins. Add in the all-star cast at Nintendo's disposal, and it seemed like a natural fit. Yet when they saw the Toys to Life concept, Nintendo decided it was just a bit too out there for their liking. By the time the Wii U launched in late 2012, clearly Nintendo had changed their minds, as evidenced by the built-in NFC reader in the Wii U's gamepad. Unlike all the other Toys to Life approaches, Nintendo didn't require a separate, dedicated interface for the figurines. The console itself could scan characters into the digital world. With that important groundwork laid, Nintendo was finally ready to burst onto the Toys to Life scene in 2013 with Pokemon Rumble U? That can't be right. Yep, the first use of the Wii U's NFC technology was for a little eShop Pokemon game with low-poly graphics and figurines that matched. Maybe you like the angular Pikachu style, but beauty, the holder, all that. It's like Pikachu crossed with a Porygon. Amiibo finally arrived when Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U launched in late 2014. The first figurines looked like their Smash Bros. Trophies and had the most functionality for that game. But because the gamepad could read the NFC chips without the need for a specialized third-party gateway, Nintendo took the opportunity to make Amiibo widespread across several games. Effects varied from game to game and Amiibo to Amiibo. Sometimes they'd unlock special outfits or just drop some extra items. But the idea that one toy could have multiple uses across games and even across Nintendo consoles, including the Switch and handhelds, made them an appealing proposition. Factor in the iconic characters, the gorgeously detailed figurines, and the thrill of tracking down rare collectibles, and Amiibo have a recipe for lasting success. Oh, and of course, these little guys and Amiibo cards are invaluable for bringing your dream Animal Crossing villagers to your island if you're tired of handing all your hard-earned Nook miles over to that Tanuki trying to track them down. I'm gonna find you one day, Dom. I don't care if Meg hates you.
I hate him. I want him to move out.
You are always welcome at Isla HUGUET. Almost a decade after Skylanders popularized the idea, Amiibo have become the most successful Toys to Life line. Skylanders isn't soaring as high as it once did, but it's still flapping along. Meanwhile, the gateway to other LEGO dimensions has closed, and as for Disney Infinity, well, there was no beyond. Amiibo at a glance may seem like the most limited of the bunch because they don't have a single game built around them. But if you want one figure to give you an iconic outfit in Mario Kart 8, some extra potions in Breath of the Wild, or a fighter that you can train up from scratch in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, then you have tons of miniature friends to choose from. So long as Nintendo maintains their functionality, detail, and collectability, I think Amiibo are going to stick around for a long time to come. Thanks for watching once again. I'm Julian, and you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at HUGET Out.